Hey, it's Coach Mike here at Raw Fitness. I wanted to talk to you about a really great exercise, a great drill that we use here that is going to help with change of direction in an athlete, in a soccer player. Before I kind of get into the whys behind everything, I'm going to show you the drill, and then I'll kind of give you the importance of it to carry over to sport, which I feel is crucial for athletes to know, and then I'm going to give you some of the critical cues on how to perform it properly. One of our mottos here is we do simple things savagely well, and so I'm going to teach you how to do this simple drill savagely well so it has carryover to your sport. So the drill looks like this, just to show you a couple. So, okay. So, not sure if I left the camera angle, but that is called diagonal bounding. Okay, it is what is classified as a plyometric drill. And you noticed what I did was a bound is basically starting on one leg and jumping to the other leg. Now the odds that you're ever going to be in the middle of a match and you're going to see an athlete specifically do that on the field aren't very good, I hope. Okay, but that doesn't mean it's not sport specific, and I'll tell you why. If you look at really anyone who is effective with the ball at creating space, is they are awesome at changing direction. They'll throw a feint, they'll create space, they'll change direction and run towards that space. Okay, so if you look at some of the more common moves, obviously we see step over, scissors, things like that. So what we have here is we have the athlete coming right, pulling the step over, right, and then from there, and this is my concern here, now that we've driven the defender off balance one way, they're going to drive on out of it. You notice the plane of motion that I'm moving in, right? Scissor move would be a very, very similar thing. They'll come around with the scissor move and then drive on out of it once they've created space into that new direction. So there's a couple things that has to happen. Number one, the kid's got to be good with the ball, right? He's got to have good footwork. It's got to be efficient. It's got to be precise. It's got to be quick. Definitely. After that, all the quickest footwork in the world is really not relevant if the athlete doesn't have enough horsepower to take advantage of that space they've just created. And so that's where this drill comes in here. If you notice what I did, I stood on one foot and I explosively jumped as far as I could into a 45-degree angle and then landed on the opposing foot, trying to stick the landing. So on one end, I'm working on horsepower, right? Just being able to jump, cover ground, push into that ground more explosively in the exact plane of motion that we see the player have to use out on the pitch. Most people are only training straight ahead, side to side even, with some lateral movement type stuff. But that's not 100% the way the athlete moves. It's 360 degrees of speed, so we need to train the athlete 360 degrees. This is just one way that we do that. So, now to break it down, now that you knew the importance of it, is a bound, like I said, is jumping from one leg and it's landing on the other leg. Okay? So what I'm doing here is I usually instruct about a 45-degree angle for them to aim at. Right? So if they're younger and they don't know 45 degrees, we'll just map that out for them. You can use cones or whatever you need to, or just kind of show them about what degree they're going to do. I'm still going to keep my center of mass facing one direction primarily, stand on one leg. From there, to load up the jump, the athlete must comprehend a good athletic stance or how to jump. And so from there, the hips drop back, the knees bend. It's a straight line from head to hips. I'm not collapsing over here. Okay? Then I'm just trying to jump, swinging my back, using my lower back, instead of using the really explosive muscles that need to be trained in the glutes, quads, hamstrings, and calves. Okay? So from here, we're on one leg. They're loading back to jump, and now I'm going to come this way so the camera doesn't lose me. I instruct them to jump as high and as far as they can. So it's not just straight across, right? And by the same token, this is not like a vault up high, right? I want the athlete to jump as high and as far as they possibly can, 45 degrees. So they're here, and then going to stick the landing, okay? So that's from the jumping standpoint of things. More important, from the landing standpoint of things, this is even more bang for your buck than the jump is, because now I'm building the coordination and strength necessary for the athlete to decelerate. Most athletes have their injuries, non-contact injuries, during deceleration. So they're landing on one foot, the hips should go back, and the back should stay flat, the knee should bend, nose over toes I instruct, just the way they jumped. The two should look almost identical. You'll see a lot of kids that'll kind of lean forward over here because they don't feel stable. They try and lock their leg out and almost like stand up on their joints, you'll see. And then you'll also see kids that'll kind of come up on the ball of their foot. We instruct them to sit back to load the powerful muscles in the glutes particularly. Okay? When they decelerate, they should not put their toe down. They should use their whole foot. So when they land, they should not use just the ball of their foot. They should use their whole foot. So that's diagonal bounding. I know I get a little technical with things, but I want you to see the importance of it. I want you to be able to apply these things. It doesn't matter what I tell you. What matters is what you can apply and what can transfer over to the pitch. So I hope that you enjoyed this post. I hope that you get something out of it. As far as sets and reps, we like, for beginners, 2 sets. As they get more advanced, probably about 3 sets. And we'll do anywhere from 8 to 12 repetitions per leg. Hope you enjoy the diagonal bounding, and we'll be back with another tip soon. Thanks.